Hello, welcome to Stockport Council Watch. Today we're going to see Mark Roberts, the council leader, the free spending, green spending leader who's going to ignore 500 petitioners and the questions and the facts that are put in front of him. And we'll see the 61 good local councillors who for some reason still won't pluck up courage to ask for the transparency which the public are demanding.
It will be Councillor Mark Roberts who will be responding to Mr Hatton.
Thank you. Mark, Jake's reply to the net zero transparency petition sadly magnified the public mistrust on all three counts. Firstly, Stockport Council admit that for whatever reason your total cost of decarbonisation is not even being measured. Secondly, you claimed that the council do have forums where climate can be discussed. Then, Jake vetoed a written request for me and an independent climate expert to challenge your science. Thirdly, you nominated IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change, and two other bodies to finally provide us with the elusive evidence behind your belief that CO2 drives global warming. So we wrote to all three, and predictably, they too ignore direct questions, such as asking for peer-reviewed scientific studies. I do fear that you may unwittingly be trapped in a conspiracy of silence which has underpinned climate change politics for decades. Alarmists broadcast their flawed science and censor world experts who do expose the truth. We are being conditioned for a global technocracy. Tony Blair's digital ID, BRIC card, and the emerging central bank digital currencies are designed to ration travel, energy and resources, according to their carbon emission value and your personal government profile status. You all know that carbon dioxide is the foundation of all life on Earth, and that the elites who fund this grand illusion expose the lie with their own excessive lifestyles. It is hard to accept that you've been deceived, but will you please concede that Stockport Council and the IPCC have provided no scientific basis to spend unspecified public monies on net zero and have no right to refuse public debate? And may all councillors have the courage to do what's right by demanding this peer-reviewed scientific evidence that CO2 is anything more than a God-given plant food. Amen and thank you.
Councillor Roberts, would you like to respond?
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. No, I absolutely won't concede that. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mark. Short, sharp and dismissive of 500 petitioners. No transparency of your net zero decarbonisation costs, no scientific evidence to back up your policy, and absolutely no debate with the public or with scientific experts who we've offered to bring in. Is this democracy? We know he can't talk too much detail on this subject because he backs himself into corners. He claims that there's a scientific consensus, but it's not a consensus around a scientific study with real-world data. It's consensus around very cleverly chosen questions like, does carbon dioxide contribute to global warming? Well, yes, my hand's going up for that one because, like millions of other things, it does have a contribution, but it's negligible. If we put our hand up when we're riding a motorbike at 100 miles an hour, yes, it will slow the bike down, but the effect will be absolutely minimal. It's cleverly chosen fake science, and that is what props up the whole global warming agenda. He's failed to provide us with a scientific study, and now he's elected IPCC to do the job for him, and they've failed as well, because the scientific study just isn't there. He stood in that council chamber and told me that they are transparent on net zero spending.
We are transparent about costs and benefits.
But now, of course, the petition has forced them to write to us and confirm that they don't even count the cost of decarbonisation. They claim to have open discussion about climate change, but then they reject our attempt to actually come along and talk about it. This is how the Soviet Union used to work, isn't it? The Council's response to all of this very clearly breaches the Nolan principles, the 7 principles of standards in public life. So watch this space for our next steps. One of the purposes of these videos is to demonstrate to you, the public, that we do not have a representative democracy. The UK government and local councils are commercial corporations. They create their own policies and they serve their own commercial interests. Through token elections, which most people have opted out of by now, they create the illusion that they represent the public. But time and again, we presented uncontestable facts to Mark Roberts, and each and every time he's completely ignored them. These are the words of esteemed climate scientists that we're putting to him, and he just does not have to listen, because he answers to a commercial corporation called Stockport Metropolitan Borough Council. So in these mystifying times, what other illusions have we been led to believe? Thank you for watching.